welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are just joining me, my name is Georgia. I'm a registered associate nutritionist. I'm also a new homeowner. I don't know if it's new. We bought the house in November, so I think it's sort of new still. Yeah, I think it is. And I talk about all things on my channel, you know, it is a bit of everything, to be honest, going on. So I'm just ripping my tack off my mug of coffee, and I'm just going to have a sip because yes, get yourself a cup of tea, coffee, hot chocolate, cold drink if you're not a hot drink person. Let's just settle into this video, shake it off. God, I'm so strange. Yes, anyway, I thought I would do a little video. So we did a Q&A not so long ago, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. And one of the questions that was asked was, how did me and my partner Daniel save for our new house? Sorry, I'm just going to put this cup on the floor because I'm so scared I'm going to drop it. This chair needs a little bit of TLC. If you can see, it's a little bit, what's the word? A little bit, I can't think of the word. It's a little bit battered. Let's go battered. It wasn't the word I was thinking of or trying to, but it needs a bit of TLC, but I quite like it. Somebody just tried to ring me. How ridiculous. I'll ring them back. I've lost my complete train of thought. Though, sorry, the chair, I feel like I'm going to fall now, imagine. The chair I got for free, one of my mum's friends was giving it away, and I was like, yeah, I'll have it. Because that's what you do when you move in house to save money. You do take, beg, borrow, steal. Well, not steal, but you know that saying. So yes, how did we save for our house? So me and Daniel both opened a lifetime ISA through the Moneybox. We use Moneybox as a company. I will note at this point, this is really, really important. You have to have that lifetime ISA. If it's the same for all of them, I'm not sure, I'm talking about Moneybox in particular, you have to have it open for at least a year before you can withdraw through it, because we had a bit of an issue in that Daniel didn't have his open for a full year and he lost some of the money that he'd because with a lifetime ISA you sort of get like really good interest and it's topped up by the government. I'm really hoping these are still available because it was brilliant. I know the Help to Buy ISAs was a thing, it was a few years ago. We were too late to get one, but we got a lifetime ISA. There is normally something like that around. Just have a little look, have a little nosy. And I would recommend having an appointment. This isn't something that I did, but I know people that did and found it helpful. Have an appointment with your bank or with like a mortgage advisor, just for like a little bit of advice on how to save and optimise your savings. So that's what we did. We both had a lifetime ISA. Daniel had to withdraw his and then whatever. Through saving, we were very, very, very lucky and we're very grateful that we were able to live with our parents. And Daniel pretty much moved into my parents' house as well. Thanks, Mum, and my stepdad if you're watching. So that was brilliant. And then we both had an income, we both worked full time. And we just really prioritised savings. You know, we put as much money each month from our wage packet into the lifetime ISAs, and did it that way. Things like not buying new clothes, which for me, before I started saving, I loved buying new clothes. So something that I really, really adopted was buying second-hand clothes from like charity shops and places like Vinted and Depop for like quarter of the price, and it's so much better for the planet as well to help reduce fast fashion. Don't get me wrong, that's not me saying that I've not bought like a new clothing item or essentials like knickers and bras new, because I have, but the majority of my clothing has been secondhand or secondhand. Things like selling unwanted clothes and items on things like Vinted and eBay and Depop. Not so much Depop or eBay, I like Vinted personally, and that's something that I started doing, which is really, really good, like a nice little top up. And it was often that the money that I made I would then be able to spend on things for myself. So I sort of did it like that way rather than like taking it out of my wage packet. Things like doing things up as well, like not buying new items. I know I said this on my Q&A, but like this chair, for example, this was free for me, and I think I've got another 4 or 5, no, I think I've got another 3 in the garage, sorry, I've got 4 in total. Things like that. The dressing table that I'm looking at in front of me, that was from Facebook Marketplace for £40, I think. The desk to my left, which is my office desk, because it's like my office slash beauty slash makeup room-ish. Not that I do makeup very often, but, you know, like skincare. Desk there, that was Facebook Marketplace. I can't remember how much that was. It was under £100 anyway, and it would have been over £100 to buy it brand new. It's one of them long IKEA ones, if you know what I mean. Most people, they're quite a popular thing from IKEA. And the bookshelf that I'm looking at over there, that was Facebook Marketplace. That was £20, £15, £20, I think it was. And it's a really sturdy one. I love it a lot. Things like that. And, you know, not buying non-essential things or setting aside some money for your non-essential luxury things each month. I love, this is not sponsored or anything like that, but I love Monzo, which is a bank. If you've not heard of it, it's all very online. But within Monzo, you can do pots. And it's something that me and Daniel still do now, is have pots. So each month I've got a pot for petrol / diesel. I've got a diesel car. Diesel, I've got a pot for, you know, like car. So for example, if I have an MOT insurance coming up, it's like a car pot. And then I've got things like luxury things, or like meals out with friends, or coffees out with friends, that side. And then I've got like a savings pot as well. I've got, so it's, for example, it's my sister's birthday coming up, and I've got like a Megan's birthday pot thing. I've got like a gift pot for them gifts that you forget about. I've not done that recently. God, I'm terrible. But I put like a little bit of money in that each month, sort of separating your money out so then you know what you're playing with, and all the essential things are paid, and then what you've got left over, that's what you've got to play with for the month, which you can get, like, you know, if you want a new pair of trainers, for example, that can go for that. But that's what we did, and that's what we continue to do, to make sure we're paying for the mortgage now. So we got a mortgage. We were very, very fortunate. I will always tell Daniel this is because of me. It is. So we had a mortgage appointment. This was before, well, it was kind of during, but the start of the cost of living crisis and the inflation of mortgage rates. I insisted on a 5-year fixed rate. And I am so glad, relieved, thank the Lord, happy that I did that, because our mortgage rate, I can't remember the percentage off the top of my head, but it is considerably, and I mean considerably / half the current mortgage rates. So yeah, so remind Daniel that all the time. I'm like, well, we wouldn't be able to, because we would not be able to pay that much more for our mortgage than what we do now. If I'm being completely honest and transparent, you know, we didn't buy a cheap house. We bought a house that was like top of our budget, which, you know, it's a house that we've moved into. We haven't had to do, touch wood, just gonna touch wood, we haven't had to do anything huge. It's just been perfect. We love our house and it's us. God, what else do we do to save money? Things like cheaper meals, rather than like, well, this isn't what I was going to say, but I just thought of it. Rather than going out for food, we like to have food in a lot more. I love cooking, so that's what we did there. But even like the meals I am cooking, or was cooking when we were saving, but still continue to cook, you know, they're cheaper meals. They're not like ridiculously expensive. They're not like a £20 steak. I mean, I don't eat red meat. Daniel does now, but we're not doing that. But it's more like chicken, and it's like bulk buying, and, you know, using things like the smart ranges, or, you know, Aldi Super 5, or, you know, the wonky fruit and veg, things that I actually talk about on my Instagram a lot, my G Spends Nutrition, for those of you who are new. Things I talk about to save money, these are things that I do. They're not just, oh yeah, you do, you know, do as I say, not as I do. You know, I do actually follow my own advice with these things, and bulk cooking as well, and like freezing them. And you know, if you see a yellow reduced label, getting them home, freezing them, but always, because I've been caught out a few times, always check they are freezable before you do this, because it's happened a few times where I've got home and I'm like, what do I do? Nothing major, nothing like there was, you know, but learn from my mistakes. But yeah, I just think there's ways to do it, and don't be hard on yourself. Don't say, I want to buy a house in 3 months. Is that feasible? Is that realistic? Might be, might not be. It took us 2 years, I want to say, 1.5 2 years. Yeah, I would say roughly about 1.5 years. I was saving before I met Daniel, because I've always wanted to buy my own house fairly young. So I'm 23. We bought it when I was 23. Daniel was 25 just when we bought the house. But we put the offer in. This is another thing. Be patient. So we actually put an offer in for an original house. The original house was actually a project house, which in retrospect, I'm so glad fell through. So we had that house, and I'm not joking. We got accepted in April because it was my birthday. Literally the day before my birthday, we got accepted. So I was 22. And then it just kept going on and on and on. And it got to about August, and I was like, this isn't happening anymore. Like, we just weren't happy with how things were going. There's a few things that came up on the surveys and whatnot. So for us, we were like, no, this isn't right for us. We're going to pull out. And we did. We pulled out. And I would always say, you know, if you don't feel comfortable, you can pull out at any stage as a buyer, at any stage as a seller as well. And if you're not happy with how things are going, yes, you're going to lose your solicitor fees, but £1,000 roughly, I think that's what our solicitor fees were each. So we paid £2,000, we had 2 houses in. But £1,000 compared to house price, you know, it's a big decision. Don't take it lightly. So then we pulled out in around August, and a week later we came to look around this house, and I was like, this is our house. Like, this is perfect. This is everything we wanted, and it's on a lovely, lovely like estate, which we are very, very fortunate, because literally 5 minutes that way and you're in like rural. We are very rural where we live, but if you go up that way, fields, woods, you know, very lovely. I'm not going to say where it is because I don't want to put that out, but that way is like a lovely, very rural area. And if you go like 5 minutes, 10 minutes down the road, you've got like your Aldi and your Tesco. So we are so lucky. And this was our house, and we're very happy with it. We love it. And it's very quiet. Like, it's Saturday. I'm filming this on Saturday. Can you hear anything? Apart from maybe the wind, because I can't, and I love it. It's never busy. This estate's never busy. So we are incredibly lucky. I feel like I've really digressed, and I can't even remember what I was talking about. Be patient, because buying a house isn't a quick process. Very, very rarely is it a quick turnaround. Very, very rarely. Because when you buy a house, this is something that I never knew, you've got the searches to do, you've got to get a solicitor, or your legal things, you've got to, you know, make sure that everything's sound and solid that you're buying, you know, things like radon tests. What else did we have done? God, it was all a blur. Honestly, it was a very, very stressful time. I will be completely transparent and honest. It was very stressful. There was a few tears, more on my behalf. I think I actually cried the day we were moving, because it was just so overwhelming, and to do it so young as well. Like, we are so grateful for our family and friends, because they were amazing. Like, they were so kind, helpful, generous. Like, my family helped us move in. Like, we couldn't have done it without them. Like, so if you're watching and you're a family or friend member and you've helped us, thank you so much, because I would not be where I am sitting, quite literally, without you. So thank you. But yeah, that's just how we manage, that's how we save for our little house. But I would say there is a fine line between saving and then not doing anything, enjoying your life, which I think I might have crossed. I think I did take it a little bit too seriously, the saving process. But you have to remember that I did a lot of my saving in lockdown, where there wasn't a lot of other things to do. But yeah, make sure you're enjoying your life, but then make sure you put in the money behind that you need to, and make sure you work out. I had like a little, obviously, I had a little notebook where I was like, right, legal fees, right, deposit, right, what other costs did we have? Our mortgage company, so where was Skipton Building Society, they've been really good. This is not an ad or whatever, but they were amazing. The mortgage advisor, we had someone called Sean, and he was lovely, so helpful, always answered my emails. He was amazing. So the first time round we didn't have to pay for the search, but a second time round we did, and that was £180, I want to say. So that's, you know, something to consider. Moving fees, if you haven't got a friend with a van like I did, thank you, Hannah. Things like moving companies are quite expensive, van hires are expensive. But just write it down, get an Excel spreadsheet if that's more your cup of tea than a notebook. I like handwriting it, because you can highlight, you can scribble, that sort of thing, rather than Excel. I think I had an Excel and a notebook, to be honest. I had to do an Excel spreadsheet for the mortgage company appointment to make sure we could actually afford everything. So I was like, right, incomes. I've worked out all our incomes, say both of our incomes, all of our outgoings, so things like mobile phone bills, petrol bills, food, BT, internet. We haven't got a phone line, but if you're gonna have a phone line. What else we pay for every month? Well, mortgage, obviously, water, heating, electric. Make sure you can afford something, and make sure you have like a budget of what your house price and mortgage is going to be, because there's nothing worse if you set your sights on a house and love it and fall in love, and then you find out you actually can't afford it. So do that before you look around a property. Get your mortgage in principle. Be quick with that, because houses do go quite quickly. They do around here, and because we saw it and I put in the offer that day, and I had the mortgage in principle all ready to go, so I attached it in the email and said, our offer is XYZ, let me know. And we got it. And the woman we bought it off, had a lot of viewings, and she actually cancelled them because we went in with an offer and was like, this is what we want, can you take it off the market? Here's a mortgage in principle, we're not faffing around. And she accepted. She was like, actually, yeah, you can have it, because I don't want to have more people viewing that are going to be like time wasters, like, have it. I think we offered slightly more than asking price just to help seal the deal, which you might find helpful. I don't know, I'm not an expert. Mortgage advisors, I would recommend. I didn't have one, so I can't personally recommend, but I know people that have and found them helpful. There's quite a few like online ones, rather than like having to meet someone in person, if that's easier for you. But yeah, that's just our journey. Any questions, do let me know.